So in example 7 here, we're actually going to prove one of the derivative formulas for inverse trig functions, for inverse cosine. So this one is negative of 1 over root 1 minus x squared. And we're going to label inverse cosine as y, that's our function. So y is equal to inverse cosine of x. Or remember the other way we read that, y is the angle whose cosine is x. So this is equivalent to saying cosine of y is equal to x. Y is the angle that when you take the cosine of it, you get x. Okay, so remember here y is a function. It's a function of x. So let's go ahead and differentiate both sides of this relationship with respect to x. So derivative of cosine y is going to be equal to the derivative of x with respect to x. So on the right, that's an easy derivative, that's just 1. On the left-hand side, this is cosine of a function. So that's actually an f of g of x. And remember, when you differentiate f of g of x by the chain rule, you get f prime of g of x. So you got your derivative of your outside function at your inside function, and then times g prime of x, derivative of the inside. So remember here that f of g of x, the prime of that, derivative of that, is f prime g of x, and then times g prime of x, derivative of the inside. So the derivative of cosine, remember, is negative sine. And then at the inside function, y. And then times the derivative of the inside function, which would be y prime. And y prime, well, remember, y is inverse cosine. So our y prime, that's the derivative of inverse cosine. That's what we want. So solve both sides for y, solve the equation for y prime. So divide both sides by negative sine y. So on the left-hand side, we just got that y prime. On the right-hand side, I'm going to pull that negative out in front. We've got negative 1 over sine of y. Okay, now let's draw a picture of this relationship here. And we'll write an expression in terms of x for sine of y. So here, y is the angle. And the cosine of y is equal to x. Or if you want, that's x over 1, which is, remember, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So here, cosine of y equals x over 1 equals adjacent over hypotenuse. So our adjacent side is going to be x. So here's your angle y. Adjacent side's x. Hypotenuse is 1. And so this side here, the opposite side is going to be square root of hypotenuse squared. 1 squared is 1 minus the adjacent squared, x squared. And then we want 1 over sine y. So this is going to be negative 1 over. And what is sine of y? It's opposite over hypotenuse. So sine of y is opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite is root 1 minus x squared. That's from Pythagorean theorem. And hypotenuse is 1. So your sine is root 1 minus x squared. So that goes down in the denominator. And check it out right there. That is our derivative. So that's how you show one of those derivative formulas using some trigonometry and the chain rule.